I
How many of those
chose
do you
you
have in
again.
a day?
This thing,
Uh-huh.
I have at least one a day.
What is that?
It's the Monster Energy Rosa Ultra.
So you love pink monsters?
Yeah, I love pink monsters.
Just realize what he said to the people listening. He just like speed faced because he realizes he made a oopsie. So he's trying not to laugh.
Yeah,
Bernard, and I'm watching your
that's
stream. Why not you
disrespectful
try
as
not to
well.
laugh?
That's disrespectful as well, bro.
Hi, this is Bean, and
I'm Prasad. I was known as Redundant, but now I just go by my name now because I've grown up.
I was gonna dead name you as redundant, but okay, sure. We'll go with Prasad then.
Please respect the name that my parents have given me. Nah, nah, we're cutting that out. We're cutting that out. That was weird. That was weird. That was weird. But yeah, we're together with Live Under a Rock. We've been trying to get this podcast off of the ground for 3 years now.
Probably 5 years. That's when I met Prasad. Like we were trying to start this podcast in 2020. That's when I met Prasad, and he was just a wee little lad saying, "Hey, do you want to make a video together?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay," and I said,
sure.
"Okay," and I said, "Okay." So
Just so you know how long it's been, back when we started doing this podcast,
yeah, go on.
Bean still had hair.
I said that hair. Couple of questions. Is it live under a rock or live under a rock? I mean, I just typed it out. I
Ye-
said, you know what would be a good name of the podcast? Live under a rock. So I don't know if it's live under a rock or live under a rock.
Yeah. So essentially, like, the concept was originally to be like, oh, we're kind of like, two bugs sitting under a rock, like, like a rocks, like,
We don't
propped up
know
by a
anything.
stick.
Yeah,
And then, and then, like, yeah, and we don't know anything. That too, yes.
yeah, and we
Um,
tried to record a version of this podcast in 2023, November 2023, I think, and
it's never gonna
and
see the light of day.
never gonna see the light of the day. And even back then, I was trying to ask, you know what would be a good idea for a podcast would be if you could educate me with what's going on the internet. And back then, I was 28 years old, so every time I would see something, I would say,
And
he would say pushing 30, by the way. And right now, I'm 30 years old. You're gonna hear
yeah,
a lot
no
of,
longer
oh my god, you're a
pushing
30 year
40,
old man.
pushing
You're a
40, by the
30
way.
year old 30 year
30
old
year old man, by
man,
the
and
way.
you know a lot of
Um,
TikTok, more TikToks than this guy does. So
yeah.
you're gonna hear a lot of
No,
that.
he's been on TikTok for longer than I have.
Yeah,
I just moved across the world about 2 years ago at this point, and I did not
yeah.
have access to TikTok because TikTok's banned in India.
TikTok's back in India.
So I've been kind of out of the game. I've been a little uncultured, if, as they say. I used to make fun of him because he was Ankh, I was not, and now I've kind of breached Ankh status as well. The other day, like I was talking to one of my friends. I remember like last time
Hmm.
when before my birthday, like this year, and then I was just like like she was asking me, "Oh, how old are you gonna be?" I said I'm gonna be 23, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, that's like mid 20s," and I'm like, and that's
How
when it hit me. Like that's when it hit me like
how the
people
f-
below the
how
age
the
of
fuck
20, like
how the
serious
fuck
young.
is 23 mid 20s? Like, how stupid do you have to be? It's still lower 20s. How is that mid 20s?
See, like when you get to like the like any number that starts by 3, I feel like
I mean,
every
I
single
I
like
think I
age.
rightfully
Yeah,
earned rightfully earned the title of an unk because I'm 30 years old. I think that's fine.
yeah. Are you an unk right now?
Um,
Are you an unk like to someone? Like I'm not.
uh, yeah, I think I've been an unk. Could be 5 or 6 years ago. I think that was when one of my cousins had a child. So I think I'm an actual unk now. Yeah, but that was like 5 or 6 years ago, I think. But yeah.
30-year-old mind, by the way.
Yes, I don't mind really. I don't mind. It's like a respect or something, so I don't really mind. But age perception is so weird because some people would be 16 or 17 years old, and once you turn 18, you're an unk to them. Like that, it's so weird. I'm not sure if it's like a new Gen Z thing or if it's like an internet thing, but people will call you unk even if you turn 18. So it's weird.
I feel like not just in terms of age, but I think in terms of the internet as well. You're
Uh
pretty
huh.
unk. I feel like you've been on the internet for too long, and in that sense, I'm an unk as well because
Yeah.
I've been on the internet like since I was like I want to say 12, which is probably 13.
Damn.
I was watching PewDiePie say like fuck like
Oh
60
god.
different times in a single minute to Flappy Bird, like,
Oh my god. Yeah.
and what so
I
yeah,
freaking
by all means, I'm like, I'm an internet unk.
yeah. I mean, I was on this obscure website by Google known as Orkut. That was like, yeah,
Oh yeah, I remember
I'm an
Orchid.
unk that I've been on Orkut. I don't think a lot of people who
Bro,
were born
bro,
after 2006 would even know what Orkut is. So it was a social
oh,
media website made by Google. I think they shut down sometime in 2012. I would want to say, but yeah.
yeah, no, I've been meaning to ask you this for a long time. What did the dinosaurs look like?
um, Green. I don't
You
fucking know.
sound very small, guys. Yeah,
Go ahead.
internet uncle, like Orchid, right? Bro,
Orkut.
is a 30-year-old man, by the way.
I was actually going to make like a MySpace joke, but low key, I don't even know what MySpace is. I mean, it did exist back then,
I
but
feel like
I was
nobody
never on
used
it.
MySpace. I feel like people who are like, like using MySpace a lot. Like,
Or maybe
I
it did
like,
exist, and I did know about it, but I don't think anybody in India used it. But a lot of people in India were on Orkut. My high school friends were on Orkut, and I had to tell them, please, oh, dude, Orkut is so cringe. Just come to Facebook. It's so fun. There's games and everything on Facebook, and yeah, and games don't
yeah, we
exist on
can take
Facebook
criminal
anymore.
case.
No,
We can take criminal case.
Freaking Farmville, Yovel was on Facebook. Dude. All the Zynga games were
Angry
on.
Birds,
Yeah,
bro.
wait, Angry Birds was on
One of the
Facebook.
Angry Birds seasons was on Facebook. Was a
I think
Facebook
so. Yeah, I
exclusive.
think so. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Miniclip. Don't I don't think anybody even remembers Miniclip anymore. But
No,
yeah,
I
I mean,
remember
yeah.
Miniclip. I'm young enough to like remember Miniclip.
Does it still exist? I
I
don't think
feel
it
like
does, right? Because of
it does
Adobe
not. It does.
Flash is out of
Flash,
date.
Flash died.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just talking to someone else. Like, I matched with this girl in Bumble a couple months ago, and
freaking
then
of
I
course.
actually was talking to her about it. Like, fuck off. I was just like, I was just talking to her like, a couple months ago, and then like I asked her like, if she was on Newgrounds because she used to play a lot of Splatoon with a lot
Oh
of like
wow,
competitive. First off, I did not know
competitive.
competitive Splatoon
Yeah, it's the
existed
first time I'm hearing
to
about
begin
it.
with. So like she used to play with a lot of like comp players with Splatoon,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Do you know what Newgrounds is?" And she
Hmm.
was like, "What, 2 years younger than me?" So she was like 21. But like, yeah, and then she's like, "I don't know what Newgrounds is," and I'm like, "Holy fuck!" I
Okay.
just aged myself like like one full generation because I was like, yeah, how do people not know what Newgrounds is? Like Tom Falk,
Yeah.
Pico's cool. I probably shouldn't have been playing that when I was like 10, but like, yeah, Pico's cool. Holy shit.
Yeah.
The internet's been through a lot, man. I remember like a lot of people saying that like, they got groomed on Kick, and I did not know what Kick was
You don't know what? Okay.
for for the longest time. I did not even know that Kick used to be like a messenger app that like they could use.
Yeah.
And then I found out like Instagram used to have like a backdoor to it before it got bought out by Facebook.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
Instagram used to have like a backdoor to MySpace, Kick, and there was some VoIP like a Skype kind of like internet calling software or something. I don't remember what it was called, but like
It's called
it was
Viber.
something like they had.
Viber, you think? No. No.
No,
No.
no,
No.
Viber
No.
was later. Like Viber was later. Like it was an Indian app.
Okay.
Viber
Oh.
was like something in the 2010s. 2010s. The internet's been through a lot, man. I look different of how I used to look like when we recorded this the last time. I feel like he looks a lot different as well.
Yeah, I've got a jawline
But
and I've got
yeah,
hair. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the hair part's kind of like jury's still out, but sure, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, what's like I've been living under a rock for the past few months. I am graduating with another degree.
Awesome.
It's truly insane to me thinking that like the
What are you
last time we
graduating in?
recorded this, I only had one degree to my. I have a business degree now for some reason, apparently.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
what
awesome.
have you been up to?
Came to the US to do my master's in computer science, and so I'm gonna be. So yeah, I think I've always loved computers, loved software engineering. Figured out software engineering is a thing for me when since I love video games. Like ever since I was a kid, I've always liked the idea of how a video game works instead of just playing it. I was always trying to break stuff, see the boundaries of a video game, and C logic. So I started out by trying to make a video game on like PowerPoint. So it's like, let me walk you through with how I used to work with making games on freaking MS PowerPoint. Okay, so it's like,
Nah,
uh,
I know what you mean.
you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, yeah, those kind of games do exist. Actually, it's called point and click. So it's like
Yeah.
you click on a you click. So, but I had the more advanced version of it. Okay, so I had like these arrow buttons. Picture this. Okay, there are arrow buttons on the
Mhm.
PowerPoint. You click the right button, and your character will move to a slide that where the character will move right,
Yeah,
and if
where
you go
does move
left,
right?
it'll go back. It's basically like the point and click games, like the Telltale games or the new one Dispatch that exists now. You should go and check it out.
I've been
We're not
wanting to
sponsored.
play that
I wanted to
so
play it
bad.
too. How do you have reactions
It's so
on?
expensive though. It's like 40 Canadian. That's like insane. That's like
Yeah,
3 hours of my hourly. But
yeah, I get it.
yeah, I mean, like I've done the same thing. I just do it like it's slightly different thing. But yeah, I did it slightly differently. Instead of like having the character move across, like I remember I had like a rabbit like clip art that I found off of like the
Oh
whole like
wow.
PowerPoint library itself, and then I used to be a big fan of like turn-based RPGs where you
Oh
got like
wow.
four options: attack, magic, and shit. And
Yeah,
then I did the same thing where I would
basically.
like
Yeah,
just like put
me too.
attack, and then like it would just like take you to a slide where it's linked to a slide where like the character does the attack, and then the enemy loses like a few health bars or something like that.
And yeah, so basically, that's how I knew I wanted to get into software engineering. So I'm currently a software engineer. 2 years ago, when I spoke to Prasad, I was still about to graduate with my master's in computer science. I didn't graduate yet, but yeah, now I'm like employed somehow. But yeah, if I alt
Who
tab this
has a
podcast,
job?
if I alt tab this
We're,
podcast, I'll be working and doing my stuff. But like
we're gonna
it's remote. I'm glad it's remote and stuff, so I
we're,
don't have to work.
we're gonna have to censor the word employment. We don't take kindly to that. Like we don't take kindly
What's up
to
with that?
the concept of job.
It's one thing that I don't get on the internet is like, why do people say job or employment? Okay, slurs. I don't know. Why do they
That's
consider that as a slur, right? I mean, I don't know.
can we not like for the first episode? Can we not say slurs in the podcast, please? We cannot like
Why is it a slur then? I mean, why? I mean, I don't get
who
it.
wants to be employed? Who wants to be employed? Who
Try
wants
to
to be
be
employed?
try to be knowyourmeme.com or something. Like, tell me why is that? Why is it a
You
slur?
know what? I'm actually gonna look it up. I'm actually gonna look it up.
It might
I
actually
want
be
to see
on
what the
no
word is
nor
like.
meme, I think. Yeah, yeah. It's
Job
the first
slash job censored. Yeah, it is
job
on no.
censor.
Of
Job
course,
is
it's on
yeah.
fucking
It
name.
is unclear who first censored the word job to medical purpose. Okay, so one of the earliest known was by TikToker Lyndon
Linden
fifty
509.
ninety in February 1st, 2025. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No, like the
R/ Playboy Cardi. Guys, I got a job.
Playboy Cardi, yeah,
Heartbreaking.
like of course. And then like the man has like a not uploaded music in so long that like the guy that subreddit's just like a meme page now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he did drop like a music in January 20 or February 2025, I think. Yeah, it was good.
That's when it came
Fue.
out.
I'm
But
sorry.
like for the longest time, I thought that that was gonna be a fake out as well
Yeah,
because
I
when
mean,
he
he
said it
he,
was
he
gonna be
does he
released, and
does
then
say that he new music soon, and then it's never
no,
coming out.
I mean, there was like baby boy on the way. I'm like, yeah, I don't believe you. You're a fucking liar, man. The
Another
job
four.
thing is like, who wants to be employed?
I mean, shit ain't gonna pay for
Look into live
itself.
right now.
Things aren't gonna pay for itself. You need a job, right? I mean, you gotta. I mean, you can't just
Who said,
live with your parents in a basement, or if you're in a country that does not have a basement, then you live with your parents, right? And you don't live under a rock. Oh my god, I did the thing. Uh,
but of this,
yeah, or you're not hot enough to like start a page, a page, right? Or you're
on
not,
OnlyFans?
or yeah, thank you. I was being subtle
Was
about
that
it.
was that was that an OnlyFans reference?
I was being subtle about it, but yeah.
I'd pay money to see you naked.
Well, okay. So anyway, or you're not, or you don't like have a sugar daddy or sugar mommy, right? So you gotta take care of yourself.
Skill issue. Skill issue. We actually wanted to talk about a lot of things. There's been a lot of different memes on the internet. The fuck ass baby meme that I cannot escape. fucking laughing, baby. Be my friend. What is that meme? I don't get it. Like, why is
I
that
don't
AI
even
baby so
get it.
famous right now?
It's funny because there's like two origins of the. I mean, it's like a combination of two memes. Okay, it's like the original photo
It's
was just the
the thing,
baby,
right?
the
It's the
baby thinking was the original
yeah, yeah,
photo
yeah,
that
yeah.
you know. Okay, it's like yeah, he has his finger on his thumb,
Yeah, yeah.
and
On
he's
his chin.
looking sideways and stuff. But the actual video is like a deep fake of that baby onto a Asian man, and he's doing the pose with the whole, you know, his fist on his mouth, and he's just laughing and stuff. Yeah, I saw the
Oh,
original
holy
video.
shit.
It's an Asian man, and he's saying something. I don't know, but yeah. So basically, it's just a combination of those two. It made the
I
fucking
had
dumbest
no
video of all
idea.
time.
I had no idea that was the origins of it.
That was
Because
the
like
original.
it took me like, forever to figure out that that was the same baby as like the
Oh yeah,
chin
yeah, yeah.
meme thing.
Same,
I
same,
just thought it was
same,
like a completely different thing.
same.
And now that you're telling me about like, like it's been deep faked onto like a different video of a different man.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck is that? But like, yeah, I think people will just take anything. And like, 2025, I feel like has been such a bad year for memes.
yeah.
What memes, like, what memes have we been getting this year? We've gotten, like, the Dax meme. I actually found that funny, actually.
What's a Dax meme now?
The you're insane, you're in pain. Clock strikes 12. Midnight arrives. The song thing, the duet on TikTok. The Dax, the rapper Dax. See, that's why he
Sir,
lives under a rock.
is
Zero
that
ball
a
knowledge. Zero ball knowledge.
is that a Canada meme or something? I
Zero
don't know.
ball.
I don't fucking know
It's
about
it's
it.
not a fucking Canadian meme.
I
It's
don't
not a
know. It
fucking.
doesn't exist. I've never heard about it.
There's no shot you haven't heard about it.
What the fuck is the Dax meme?
Because there's so many iterations of it. Like this guy in 2021 apparently like just made like it's his own song, and he has like lyrics for it, but he like made it like an open verse challenge,
He's
and then
existed
half of
before
them were
this.
super horrible.
Yeah, it's just like an industry plan to me because he hasn't existed before.
What other memes have we gotten this month or year actually?
There's a meme
Now
that
that
we
I think
cannot
about it,
talk
there's a
about, but maybe we might talk about it in a future episode. Hopefully that meme, I
yeah.
mean, hopefully the meme will still be relevant because right now it's
It will be.
blowing
It
up.
will be. It's 100% gonna be.
Yeah.
Every single time you play a fuck ass song is gonna be relevant.
Wait, there's a song
Like the
to it?
other meme.
That the song to it. Yeah, we can't even talk about the song. Our lawyer
Yeah.
told us not to, basically.
A lawyer told us not. Yeah. The other meme that blew up this year was the speed meme. They made like different
It's
versions of
so good that the stream has existed since 2021. No, 2020, 2021, 2023. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know why
20,
I believe.
21, yeah, 21. It existed since 2021 and it's still blowing up. Like there's
And it
always
just got listed on
gifts.
IMDb.
It got listed on
10 by 10.
IMDb. And and there's so many variations of the gift from that stream. Like there's, yeah. Oh,
I
another
know, right?
another history lesson for people who don't know about the internet. GIFs existed because videos could not exist on the internet before, so GIFs existed as an alternative to videos with sound. So that's a little history lesson
30-year-old
too.
man, by the way.
30-year-old man, by the way.
Yeah.
Also,
Just cementing his
also,
Hazank.
one reason I get along with Prasad really well is because he pronounces gifs as gifs and not gifs. Because if you pronounce gifs, fuck you. Okay, so it's gifs. But anyway, but if you're listening, please don't tune out. It's okay. We need as much people listening to this as possible. So
Yeah.
if you say
It's
gifs,
the first episode, guys. It's learning pain. It's
yeah.
we haven't talked to each other like just face to face in probably since we last recorded the
Starts
podcast.
recording.
So you can imagine, we're trying to catch up. We had like a whole catch up session before like recording this.
I mean, we
But
we have called in between, but we haven't seen each other's face. I mean, the only time we've seen each other's face would be like sending photos of our gym progress. Like we were both fatties,
yeah,
Like
we were sending each
we're
other
not
shirtless
we're not
photos.
being fat phobic. We're being fat phobic towards ourselves, so it's different. Okay, so I'm sorry for everybody else, but
No, I'm being fat phobic towards them as well.
towards
Fuck
my
them. All body shapes are fine or whatever.
it's fine. Hit me up.
We're cutting this. We're
Yeah.
cutting this. Do you feel like growing up on the internet more so during the pandemic kind of changed the trajectory of your life in a major way? Because I have a huge rant about this. Because I feel like the propagandization and just the rise in right wing ideology, especially in the younger generations that we're seeing these days, is because
Yeah.
a lot of these kids were kind of forced onto the internet before
Hmm.
they could formulate their own opinions,
Yeah.
and at a very malleable age, they were exposed to a lot of spaces that they weren't meant to be a part of,
Yeah.
and it was just really easy for these malleable young kids to fall for propaganda. I feel like the rise in right wing ideologies that we're seeing in overall, in public, and and just the emboldening of just racism, IRL and online that we're seeing is because the very first generation that grew up on the internet has all grown up now, and now we're seeing people that are born on the internet instead,
Yeah.
and now it's causing a major rift between what used to be socially acceptable to say in public and what used to be socially acceptable to say under the guise of the anonymity of the internet is kind of just shifting, and they've kind of combined into one, and they've kind of just made things worse quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
In what sense, though? I mean, can you elaborate on that?
in what sense? As in, it like earlier it used to be people used to be afraid of consequences. People used to be
Oh, oh
just
yeah,
afraid, if they
absolutely.
say something racist or something like that, they're gonna
Yeah.
get punched, or you're
Yeah.
gonna get they can get I don't know, ostracized, something like that. And then the internet came around, and the internet, especially in its infancy, when it was the wild west, and there wasn't enough regulation and something like that,
Yeah.
a lot of people under the anonymity of their online personas were emboldened to be racist and stuff
Yeah.
to minorities and other people and other folks of color and stuff, and that kind of ideology is bled into the real life, because I feel like the pandemic was the nexus point where those people who grew up on the internet thinking that the anonymity would shield them from everything, and these kids who were taught the same things and carried those ideologies out in the real world when the real world opened back up again, has kind of that's the nexus point for everything. So I feel that's how all of these malleable kids got propagandized into believing a lot of these dog whistles and just this right wing ideologies
Yeah.
that are just harmful and just based off of stereotypes and statistics that aren't true, or at least at the very least very heavily exaggerated.
Yeah. There's definitely been a shift in, like how lenient or how people can get away with what can be said on the internet. Like it's almost like it's going back to the way it was when the internet first started, where people could just say anything, make any joke that they
And
wanted
get away with
to,
it.
and get away with it. Because something that like there are some words that I mean I'm not gonna make a list of words that were acceptable back then, and not I'm not gonna say anything
Saying
like
every slur in the book.
say every sort.
First episode.
That's a good one. Let's just take a pop culture example. James Gunn, the current CEO of DC Studios and the one who made the Superman movie and the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, he made it's actually all of them are mostly out of context jokes. Like he made jokes about pedophilia, and he made up like jokes that were back in 2010 or 2012 or even 2009. I think there was one of them back then, and it was just jokes. But if you said that today, you could get under a lot of trouble. So I guess it was just like, I mean, I'm not in any way excusing any of those jokes right now or defending him per se, but it was a lot easier to get away with those jokes back then because everybody else might have found them funny. Some of them wouldn't, but then you could get canceled for saying that. Except for now, it's almost going back to that same 2010, 2012 era of the internet. Even today, like if you see a person saying some slurs, they would not get their account suspended, or they would not face any kind of consequences on the internet, because you have a lot of these right wing governments that would just be like, it's completely okay to to let go of these people to say these things. It's like, yeah. But then you also have what I see mostly on Twitter, or X.com, whatever you want to call it. People will have a tick mark and they would say these offensive jokes on purpose. Most of them are bots that are being this could also just be a conspiracy. I don't know anything about it. Okay, I don't know, I'm just an old man, I don't know anything about the internet. If you look under every kind of like example, if there's a casting for a female actor in a new movie, or if there's a person of color in a casting announcement for a person of color in an upcoming movie or upcoming project, you will always find these kind of blue checkmarked bots or blue checkmark accounts always thrashing these people, always trashing these people, saying, oh my god, everything is woke now. Like, it's and they would just get away with this, get away with these things, and they would get likes, instantly get likes, or they would not get likes. But sometimes it's by accounts that have blue check marks, and they know that people will engage and like have a discourse with them, and they would get their Twitter blue checks, the blue paychecks from that. Or it could just be bot accounts, like, run by an agency, so that they could easily, like, help help boycott these casts, so that the companies will take the wrong example from them, like Disney or Warner Brothers or any other company out there would just like take the wrong example from this, like, oh, okay, maybe we shouldn't be casting these people, maybe we should just be casting more white people. That's the kind of shift we're going into. Like, if you look at the new Avengers movies, the upcoming Avengers movie, where is Brie Larson on that Avengers roster? She's not announced on the cast. It's like there's very less women in the next Avengers movie. Why is that even a thing? Like, it's like there's a sudden kind of shift since 2024, where I'm seeing this on the internet right now. But yeah, I mean, in pop culture in general.
I feel like, a lot of the propaganda that was sold, particularly like, last year as well, but like particularly more so this year, is trying to reshape the narrative around, like, how it was always a culture war that was started by the left.
Yeah.
Like, like the narrative that's being designed right now is that, like, like it is natural pushback to things. Because apparently, like, just like equitable hiring and everything, and like, like the left push those like agendas too far accordingly. Like, so, apparently, like, like the left push those agendas too far, and now everyone's been like, wants to come out and say that, like, that's always been the case, like, it's never been that socially acceptable and stuff, like, so I feel like historically there's been a pattern. The politics of segregation always thrives in economically uncertain times. The pandemic, in a lot of ways, was difficult not only individually for a lot of people, but like also on governments, to the point where a lot of the social services and like, social systems broke down. They're no longer economically viable, like, as economically viable as they used to be. Because of that, like, a lot of people are feeling the brunt of just yeah, just like, having to struggle and like, penny pension and like struggle to afford just basic necessities. And
Yeah.
that's when the politics of segregation thrives on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, the whole like, concept of being woke in media is something that we can discuss over like, multiple different episodes. But yeah, I mean, I feel like, for the first one, I feel like we've got like, we covered some good ground.
Yeah, Vulcan Media is like our phase one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, we're gonna be talking
Phase
about
one
it.
of the living under rock, yeah.
We're gonna be talking about it in the multiple episodes right now. There's one last topic I wanted to talk about.
Sure thing.
The 6-7 meme. What does it mean? He just did the speed face again, guys. Thank you. And with that said, thank you so much for watching We Live Under a Rock. This is Bean and this is Prasad. And yeah.
The next episode, we're gonna meet up in like a park in Los Angeles and then be smoking cigarettes all day, just for 1 hour straight until our throats give out.
Why would you come all the way to LA to smoke cigarettes, dude? It's weed. I don't know, man. Dude.
Yeah, the LA weed is not like you cannot hold a candle to Vancouver weed, but that's also something that we'll discuss in the next episode. That's been a pretty fruitful episode, like according to me. And I think this is a good partnership. It's be always nice talking to this guy, but then he has responsibilities and like being old to take care of or whatever. So we're gonna actually
My
end this
back
episode right
unironically
here.
hurts. Yeah,
Yeah, his back hurts from
comes with the
carrying his age
age.
on his back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And this huge.
He's
Okay.
30-year-old
Anyway,
man, by the way. But yeah, that's been a pretty good episode. That's episode 1 of Living Under Rock, and we hope we'll see you soon on the next episode.
bye
Ciao.
bye.